COVERT incest. Hello, my name's Eleni Allen, and today I would like to talk to you about mother enmeshment, otherwise known as golden child, mother's boy, or covert incest. And what I would like to talk today is the relationship between the enmeshed parent and the child. Is there an undercurrent of sexual energy? Personally, I would say a big yes, definitely. And I believe that Kenneth Adams had titled the mother enmeshment as covert incest, because once a child is placed into the position of surrogate husband for mother, the natural course is for that to be energized, because then that child, even as that child grows up into an adult, that there is that bond, that intimacy that should belong between mother and father, or mother and other adult, not between mother and child. Even John Bradshaw had set this out as has been enmeshed, because within the family dynamic you have the adults, then you have the children, but if the adult is unhappy or is desperately in need of having her needs met, and this is not being met by an adult, she will then go to the child to fulfill her needs. Then this is the enmeshment. So once this enmeshment is set in stone now, from child, and they have this bond. Sam Vaknin quotes, "It is at this stage where the risk of child abuse from emotional incest with the golden child is heightened." And I believe that to be true, that the risk of emotional incest is heightened, and that intimacy that is should belong to between two adults has now become between the parent and the child. And as Sam Vaknin quotes, "Once the golden child, always the golden child, it's cast in stone." So that dynamic will more than likely stay that way, but there is the undercurrent of sexual energy between the two. Kenneth Adams quotes in his book Silently Seduced, he gives an example of somebody within this. So it's got counselling his mother about her unhappiness in her marriage was not his responsibility, nor was it reassuring her she was loved. That discussion needed to occur between husband and wife, but sexual energy was certainly felt when he was invited into her room after work. This I relate to with my husband. I was in a relationship with my husband for 11 years, and he would, for 9 years of our relationship, stay with mum overnight. But he would say, "Oh, I was chatting to mum late last night in a bedroom. She was upset because dad had upset her." And I'm like thinking, so they're having this intimate conversation about her intimate feelings, and as it states there with Kenneth Adams, sexual energy is most certainly to be felt, And I do believe that there was a lot of sexual energy between my husband and his mother. And, you know, there was sexual innuendos between the two of them, and they would have their private little jokes and their private little little sexual jokes, which, you know, this is, maybe they was more aware of it, even though in a lot of mother enmeshment or parent enmeshment relationships, that it's not so open, they don't feel it. But in the case with my husband, they did. And it continues, Kenneth Adams then continues, covert incest survivors are still suffering in silence. In fact, most are not aware that their relationships with their parents were incestuous. And again, yeah, they don't realise, because it's been there from childhood. It's been there since childhood. So they don't see it as being incestuous and having deep, intimate conversations about their intimacy is emotional incest. And I would say a large amount of children, adult children, of that are enmeshed with the parents, are unable to be emotionally intimate with their partners, with their girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives, or even possibly their children. They are unable to emotionally connect. And one of the most important, I believe, things that we need to see and we need to understand is that the overt victim of sexual abuse, where there's actually been physical contact, you know, where the child has been physically and sexually abused, lies the same, honestly, it's shocking, but it lies the same with the covert incest victim. Underneath lies the same rage, the same anger, the same guilt and shame that is with the overt as with the covert. Because the covert, there is an undercurrent of sexual energy and there is the same damage. The only difference is that the overt victim feels abused, is abused. There is evidence, there is physical evidence that the abuse has occurred. With the covert incest victim, he feels privileged and honoured, and is totally and utterly lives in denial and in illusion. But underneath lies the same internal trauma. Both of them lie with the same emotional trauma, and that's something that really we need to focus on and see. But the likelihood is that the enmeshed adult child may never get to the stage where they will see it, and being a partner of a mother enmeshed man, there was no room for intimacy. There was no actual physical time, because he spent majority of his time with his mum, and very little energy was spent. But a lot of these emotions that he unconsciously felt for mum was projected onto me. So that's room for another video. I hope this video has been useful, but please subscribe to my channel. I've got an abundance of videos from experts for narcissistic abuse and of personal growth. And I've also got my own personal videos, and I'd be honoured for you to have a look. Please leave a comment in the comments box. Tell me what you think. Tell me what